Hi, I'm Josh. I'm a design engineer at Ampco. This is the seal change video for the single seal H Series. So first step is remove the casing clamp. Set that down. Grab the discharge and the bottom of the casing, give it a wiggle, and it comes right off. Then you need either a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch wrench, depending on if you have the large or small bore model, to take off the impeller nut. I like to use a rag to keep my hands from getting cut up by the impeller. You can use an O-ring pick to remove the gasket off of the impeller nut. And we'll discard that because we'll be replacing it with a fresh one. Then the whole impeller assembly can slide off the motor shaft. And then set that down on a clean surface, impeller side down. Remove the slinger. And then you need an 1/8 inch Allen wrench to remove these set screws on the seal driver. That'll pop right off. And then lift it up by the tabbed washers so the springs don't fall out the bottom. Flip that over, pull the washer off, grab the springs. Make sure those don't roll away and get lost. And then you can remove the rotating seal by pulling up on the back plate and pushing down at the impeller at the same time. Once it's up a little bit, you can pull it the rest of the way off. If it binds up, you can give it a push down, and then the O-ring will slide off, and that makes it a little easier to slide out. Discard our old seal parts. Lift the back plate off of the impeller. And then use a 7/16 wrench to undo these 1/4 inch screws. Take off this gland ring. And then you will need something soft to catch the seal when it comes out so it doesn't shatter. And flip the back plate over. And using a cylindrical tool of some sort, I'm just using a 36mm hex driver to push the stationary seal out. And I like to cover it with another rag just so I don't shatter the seal with the cylindrical part. And then just apply pressure and it should pop out. And at this point you can remove your casing O-ring because we're going to replace that later. And same with this seal, we'll replace later. And that's fully disassembled. All right, now for reassembling the single seal, we'll start with the back plate. Grab a fresh stationary seal, insert it with the shiny side facing up into the gasket. And we're going to use some food safe lubricant. And then set this in the bore on the cover, get it lined up, and then push it all the way down. And we'll use a little bit of alcohol to clean off the excess oil. Then take the gland ring, set it down over the seal, and then take quarter 20 bolts. Then use a 7/16 wrench to tighten these down. They only have to be hand tight. They don't need to be very tight because the seal is already held in pretty tightly. All right. Then once that's assembled, grab your impeller and then set the back plate down over top of the impeller. Grab your rotating seal and a fresh O-ring. Install the O-ring. Make sure it's all the way down at the bottom of the groove. Use a little bit more lubricant. Then you can use the seal driver as a tool to hold the O-ring in place while you install the seal over the shaft. And then while holding them together, push it all the way to the bottom. Make sure the O-ring is still seated. Then remove the seal driver. Grab your tab washer and 3 springs. Install the springs into the large holes. And then use the tab washer to hold the springs in place while you flip over the seal driver. Make sure the tabs line up with the grooves, and then install over the impeller with the tabs lining up with the grooves on the seal. Everything should be nice and locked in. And then using the 1/8 inch Allen wrench, push the seal driver down and then let it come up about 1/8 inch. Then you can tighten these set screws. Once you have the seals in and the seal driver on, you can install the slinger. It may take a little bit of lubricant again. Just a drop on this will do. And then slide it with the flanged side facing upwards away from the cover onto the shaft. Can go all the way down against the seal driver, and then make sure you still have your key installed on the motor shaft and that your original shims are still in place. Then the whole backplate assembly can slide onto the motor. It'll go all the way back, and then you should have a little bit of spring compression holding the back plate forward. Grab your impeller nut and a fresh O-ring. Install it into the groove. Then use your 3/4 or 1/2 inch wrench. You can protect your hands from the sharp edges with a rag. Once it's tight, make sure, give it a little bit of extra pressure to make sure it's bottomed out all the way. Then install your casing O-ring. Make sure it goes all the way back to this ledge here. And grab your casing clamp. And you can use your chest to hold the casing against the adapter while you get the clamp on. And then tighten just till it's hand tight. And the last thing you want to do is make sure that the impeller spins nice and freely. And that's it.